Mushoku Tensei may be the best isekai I have ever watched. The final episode of season 2 really delivered on every single note. We got to see them finally returning home after a long and arduous journey. We finally got an answer we have all been waiting for: what happened to Sylvie and the kids. The man god gave a warning to Rudius about leaving for Bagarit and presuming something would happen to his wife and kids. It seemed like the man god wasn't fully being honest during his conversations with Rudius, and I'm really curious why the man god didn't want him to go. Sylvie and his unborn child seem to be just fine, and there must be another reason why the man god didn't want him to go. Maybe he didn't want him to reconnect with Roxy, because if Rudius never left, Roxy was 100% going to die in that dungeon. Also, he told him to choose between Persena or Linnea as his second wife, like he knew that he would choose Roxy as his second wife and didn't want that to happen. The man god's intentions and backgrounds is one of the biggest mysteries of the season, and I am happy they brought him up in the final episode. We got to see Rudy bring up Paul's death to his two sisters, and Norn really took it hard. I like the fact that she saw Rudy's arm and let up a bit, knowing if Rudy went through so much pain that no one else could bring back Paul. One of my favorite moments of the season is seeing Norn take Paul's sword, and Rudy has given her the same speech Paul said to him: when you carry a sword, you need to keep a sword in your heart too. Just an amazing moment, and I really love that moment. I also love how Lilia noticed that moment as well and can trust Paul raised Rudy well. Now to the moment we were all waiting for: Rudy telling Sylvie about his plans to marry Roxy. First of all, I love how Elise left with telling Sylvie how much Rudy loved her. She really is the ultimate wingman. Also, I saw some comments about there being slight changes with this episode and how Elise told Rudy that Roxy might be pregnant. In the light novel, she told him because she wanted him to double down on taking Roxy as a second wife. I am glad they took that out of the anime, because that shouldn't be a reason that makes Rudy want to take on Roxy as a second wife. He should just do it on his own free will. And we later would have been told that Roxy isn't actually pregnant, so them taking that part out I thought was a W change. Rudy then tells Sylvie about his plans to make Roxy his second wife, and she is surprised to hear that news. But the person who takes it the hardest is Norn. I really enjoy seeing how distraught Norn was and how she fought for Sylvie. She saw firsthand how sad Sylvie was when Rudy was gone, and she couldn't believe that Rudy would bring a second wife. It's ironic how mad she was over it when her own father had two wives, but it is understandable, and the community took it the same way. For anyone watching this anime who got mad that Rudy took on a second wife, it was kinda obvious from the beginning of season 1 that Rudy would go on to have 3 wives, with Roxy, Sylvie, and Eris. I am an anime only watcher, but I came to that conclusion early in the anime. As long as Sylvie is fine with it, and can we talk about Sylvie's glow up? She is looking stunning with that long hair, and I hope she keeps that look. She accepts the fact that Rudy would eventually take on another wife, and is glad that it is someone who loves Rudy as much as Sylvie does. Now the best moment of the episode has to be Rudy visiting Paul's gravestone. That moment almost had me tearing up, and that gust of wind at the end of the episode was the perfect touch. Those are the type of things that cannot be done in a light novel, so seeing it in the anime was amazing. Just a super wholesome moment. I truly believe Mushoku Tensei is the best isekai of all time, and the perfect depiction of the struggles someone goes through in their daily lives. From happiness to sadness to grief to pain. We got all of that this season, and I can't think of an anime that made me feel the myriad of emotions I felt watching Mushoku Tensei. If you stayed for this long, like and subscribe as I make daily anime content, and will love for you to join me on this journey. Thanks for watching, and this is your family Baka signing out.